According to Betsy Guernsey, the floor plan for this house came from a kit, and we are actually listed in one book about Victorian houses, and the building is actually now on the State and National Historic Register, which is really kind of neat. It had been built probably in the 1860s, maybe the 1870s, by a man named Jacob Myers. It originally had the front parlor. It was almost like the shotgun houses that you can stand in the front and look out the back, because you could stand in what we call the front room, look through the next room, through past the kitchen, and out the back door. And then if you go one thing over, while all the doors open, you could look from the front hall, through the parlor, through the kitchen, and out the back door. It was really kind of cool. The library was started in 1916 by several ladies at the DAR over on Main Street. I think they started in one room on the second floor, and after a few decades, the floor was starting to go, so they were nicely asked to get out before the building collapsed. So that's when they started the fund drive. The Boy Scouts helped, the Kiwanis helped, everybody, all the organizations around helped. They bought this building in 1963. They unofficially, I found out, changed the name to the Mary Beatrice Cushing Memorial Library because Mr. Cushing of Cushing Stone gave a big enough donation to buy the house. There was an original barn and carriage house in the back that the town was using the front part of it for the office, and they left a light fixture on and it got overheated and burned the front part of the building. So we got about $10,000 out of the insurance after it was paid to be demolished and hauled away and all that stuff. And that was the seed money for the donation and the fund drive to build the addition and to renovate the rest of the library, because it was so cramped and crowded and terrible. You couldn't add anything to it. And then computers were starting to come in. We had no place to put computers. The wiring wasn't up to it. There was no place to do any of that stuff. And we did it in phases because we didn't want to have a mortgage or want to have to owe money. So we would fundraise, and then things would stop. And we'd raise a bunch of money, and then we'd do phase 2, and then it would stop. So it took probably longer than it should have, but when we got done, we didn't owe anything, which is better than some people can say. The addition originally started out to be for the children's edition. And while they were doing that, they renovated everything else in here. The wiring was updated, the plumbing was updated, we had to have a handicap bathroom, and then we did it and we opened. And officially opened the addition in 2006. We were only closed for one day in all of that mess, the day after they laid the carpeting because of the glue. And I've always said I have the best patrons in the world, because they would walk in and say, "Where's Danielle Steele today?" "Well, we rearranged the books yesterday and now she's over there." And they'd come in next week, "Now she's over there."